Also, hello to everybody who joined us today, and thank you very much for taking the time. I would like to introduce Echo Valley Ranch and Spa from British Columbia, Canada to you today, and I have prepared a little bit of a presentation for you for that. And I'll start out with myself, actually, and want to introduce myself. My name is Kirsten, and I am the marketing and sales manager for the ranch. I've been with them for 5 years now, and I am originally from Germany and moved to Canada 10 years ago. And I live in, as you can see on the top right slide here, in Merritt, British Columbia. And that's where we made our home 10 years ago, and I work from here. I came across the ranch actually because I'm a travel writer myself, and I wrote about extraordinary experiences in Western Canada, and the ranch is certainly one of them. And that's how I connected with the owner, and we've been working together ever since then. So this is me. This is where I live in Merritt, BC, and this is a shot of Nicola Lake, which is just outside of Merritt, and also a fantastic destination on the way to the ranch. Talking about the ranch, what we hear very often from all guests that come to us from overseas, whether it is Europe or Australia, that they're looking for the Canadian dream, which for them means a sense of freedom, lots of friendly people, breathtaking nature, and a little bit of an cowboy romance, as we call it, the Wild West. And your clients can certainly find all that in Echo Valley. And we often hear from our guests that a stay in Echo Valley is one of their highlights of their Canada trip. This is a slide of our owners, Norman Nandov, and together with one of the carvings of our resident artist. I'll talk about him a little bit more in a bit. This is the spirit horse that he carved into one of the trees at the ranch. And Norman then knew when they first came to the valley that they had found a very special place. And the minute you arrive there, you can really tangibly feel it, that there's just a certain serenity of the land, and our guests can certainly feel that as well. This is the homestead that was the only building there when Norman Nan came before they purchased the 160-acre property there. And moving on to the next slide, a little bit about our history and our owners. So our owner is Norm Dove and his Thai wife, Nan. And Norm is a British engineer who came to Canada in the 1960s and made his life and living there. And after retiring, he came to Echo Valley together with Nan in 1994. They fell in love with the place immediately and decided to buy the land and settle down. Originally, it was meant to be just a family compound, and as you can see on the top right here in the picture, this is the Dove Lodge, named after them, and that was the first building that was erected on the land, and it was opened or finished in 1995, and it was meant to be a family retreat for friends and family and not a hotel. So they started inviting their friends and family, and it really did not take long at all after the first couple of visits that the inquiries started rolling in. People wanted to bring their friends, and other people that were not related at all heard about it. And so Norman then decided to open Echo Valley up to the public and run it as a boutique hotel and guest ranch. The Dove Lodge is still the home of Norman Nan. They live here during the season, and it is also the center of our internationally acclaimed and awarded experience, which is now known as Echo Valley Ranch and Spa. So this is a little bit of a walk around to the different buildings of the ranch, just a quick overview, and I'll say a little bit more about each of them in a bit. On the top left here, we have the shot of the Dove Lodge from the other side, taken from our barbecue area and riding arena. On the top right, we have the Ban Thai, which is our Thai-inspired house, which hosts our event venue on the bottom, and on the top is the Thai Spa and the Royal Suite on the other side. On the bottom left, we have the Lookout Lodge, which is a work of art in itself with lots of First Nations art, and I will talk about that as well some more. And then we have our newest cabin, which is the ranch house, which was just finished a few years ago and was supposed to be the home of Norm and Nan as they wanted to move out of the Dove Lodge and into the Dove Lodge is located right here on the other side of that ranch house. And Norm and Nan were set to move into there, but the cat actually did not like the house, so they decided to stay in the Dove Lodge instead and make the cat happy. A few facts about the ranch. We have 12 rooms in total between the two lodges. We have 5 cabins, 1 royal suite, and we take up to 30 guests at a time. Even though we can accommodate more, we limit this to 30 guests just to make sure that everybody has the best possible experience. What we do also offer, though, is something that's called Book the Ranch, where you can book exclusive use of the whole resort, and we can accommodate up to 42 guests for those occasions. So people book those for weddings or for family reunions mostly, and sometimes for corporate retreats. We do have about 20 staff on team just to make sure that each guest gets enough attention and is pampered all the way. Our season runs from April 1st to October 31st. We have a 2-night minimum, 3 nights in July and August, which is our family season. And kids under 13 are welcome during the family weeks in July and August. And outside of that time, we are adult-oriented ranch. So here's a little bit more about the Dove Lodge now, the Dove Lodge right here. Our standard rooms are in the Dove Lodge. They have a queen bed, and we have 1 room that has 2 twin beds. This is the living room area on the bottom left here, where guests gather before and after meals to relax and just kind of recap their day. And also located right next to that living room area on the bottom right here is our open eating area right next to the ranch kitchen, where we eat and serve food family style. This is the Lookout Lodge in the top left here. The newer lodge that was built in 2001, and it houses the premium rooms, which all have a king bed or 2 twin beds. And some of those rooms on the top floor also have additional sleeping lofts. There are family rooms, so they have a king bed and a sleeping loft with 2 twin beds, ideal for families with 2 kids. On the bottom left is one of our cabins. This particular one is a 1-bedroom cabin, which has a living room. From the living room, you can access a sleeping loft, as seen on the bottom right here. And it also has a separate bedroom with a king bed and a common area and a bathroom, of course, as well. This is our Bontai building, which was is the newest building on the ranch, and it was built in 2004. This is a very special place. It's one of a kind in North America. And Norm, our owner, commissioned the architect of the Thai royal family to design and to build this house as an homage to his wife's Thai heritage. The top of the Bontai is the rooftop terrace where we usually have the weddings, host weddings up here. Of course, guests can just sit and relax here. And as you can see on the bottom left here, this is the Thai spa, which is on one side of the building, and the part of the royal suite, which is on the other side of that building. So that was a quick walk around across the ranch with the different buildings, and now I'll talk for a minute about where we are located. So Echo Valley Ranch and Spa is located in the Caribou region of British Columbia, about a 5 to 6 hour drive from Vancouver, and about 2 to 2.5 hours from Kamloops. We do offer airport transfers from Kamloops Airport. It's about a 2.5 hour drive, or Clinton, which is a small village that has the access road to Echo Valley Ranch, is about an hour drive to the ranch, and there's a Greyhound bus depot there where we can pick up from as well. Many of our guests come either to us from Vancouver up the Fraser Canyon via Hope, or they will spend a few days in Whistler first and come to us that way. We're about an hour outside of Clinton, and the last 35 kilometers are on a gravel road, which is fairly well maintained, but can have the occasional pothole, especially after the winter. I know that one concern for other travel agents has been, and I do want to mention that there is a gravel road, and many car rental companies do not like to see that. And we've had some talks with Destination BC, Destination Canada, and the car rental companies, and we're assured that this is not an issue for us, because since this is our only access road, it counts as our driveway, so to speak. So there's no concerns with sending guests with rental cars on that gravel road. So I just want to take a minute to talk about some of the things that the guests see when they travel to Echo Valley. On the top left here, that's a picture of the Hope Slide, which is just outside of Hope, BC, about 2 hours, hour and a half from Vancouver, which is in the 1960s. Half of that mountain just came sliding down, which is a little memorial there and some interesting facts that you can find out about that. And from there, many guests like to take Highway 3 up to Manning Provincial Park. And on the top right here, you see something that's pretty unique for the area too, where there's what they call the rhododendron gardens, where in the middle of the BC rainforest, you find rhododendron that are growing there wild. Continuing on Highway 3 is on the bottom left here, and then coming to Highway 1, the Fraser Canyon on the bottom right, which is a very popular route with our guests to travel up the canyon and stop at a place that is called Hell's Gate, as you can see on the top right here, where Simon Fraser came up the Fraser River, and you can take a gondola from up on the highway about 350 feet, drop down into the canyon and explore some of the history there. Another great destination for on the way, oops, sorry about that, accidentally switched the slide. I hope you can see this one again. Now on the top left here, those are the Othello tunnels where the Kettle Valley Railway was built through the mountains up the Coquihalla Canyon in the 1920s. Also a very popular destination is Kentucky Lake. On the bottom left here, and then finally on the bottom right, this is Jesmond Road, the access road to the ranch. So that's about what it looks like, a well-maintained gravel road that we don't recommend guests drive at night if they're not familiar with this kind of road, but most of our guests usually time that they arrive before dinner, so that's not really an issue at all. So now that I've talked about the experiences you can have on the way to the ranch, I just want to talk about what is all included in a stay at the ranch. And on the top left here is a picture of the open ranch kitchen where guests can come and chat with the chef because he's busy cooking most of the days all day long, and sample some food if they wish, and just check out the ranch kitchen and the fresh, farm fresh meals that he prepares. So all meals are included, farm fresh, and prepared by our executive chef. We serve breakfast and lunch as a buffet and dinner as a three-course meal at the table. In the summer, we also have barbecue nights in our outdoor barbecue kitchen twice a week. And every Thursday, we have Thai night. As I've said before, our owner's wife, Nan, she's from Thailand, and part of her family and friends work at the ranch and have been with us for almost 20 years, some spa therapists, and they are a big part of the ranch family. So once a week, they put on an authentic Thai night with authentic Thai food, which you can see on the bottom right here. We also include a glass of wine or beer with dinner, non-alcoholic beverages anytime, and coffee and tea all day long. And the cookie jar is also always stocked. Also included is Thai yoga every morning, and that's the bottom floor of our Bon Thai building, as well as the use of all our ranch facilities like our indoor pool, fitness room, and sauna. And in the basement of the Dove Lodge, you'll find a games room and the pool table, as well as a TV room, because there are no TVs in the guest rooms and cabins, and free Wi-Fi everywhere on the ranch. So lots of people wonder, you know, how do the kids like it if they don't have access to Netflix or YouTube or TVs, and the kids love it because there's so much stuff to do and see that they don't even really ask about their devices. They are busy mountain biking, which we also supply helmets and bikes for. They try fly fishing in our own stock ponds. We also supply the equipment for that and can also offer fly fishing lessons. Or the family enjoys a round of volleyball or many other available games around the ranch. And of course, we have lots of trails to explore around the ranch as well. And we do have maps included and offer also some guided hikes optionally. A big part of the Echo Valley experience is also our First Nations art. And as I said earlier, we do have a resident artist at the ranch. His name is Michael Blackstock. And he has created, among other things, the carving of the spirit horse that you've seen earlier, as well as this First Nations art map of the ranch. And one very special place at the ranch is a room in the Lookout Lodge, one of our premium rooms, where Michael created 4 carved masks for us. And I just want to read you a little bit of a story out of our guest guide for artwork. That's the story behind room number 12 and the masks. A spiritual place where you can travel between worlds is known as an access mundi. They are rare physical locations which offer a bridge or ladder to another spirit world. Room 12 is one such place. Michael noticed this when he looked at the paint patterns on the walls. Each of the masks he carved is placed beside the image on the wall that inspired the carving. Michael was tasked with one of the great challenges for any artist, that is, to make the intangible into something tangible. In this case, to allow the guests in room 12 to see or understand the intangible. These spirits are helpful souls from a bygone day that have agreed to share this wonderful place with you. The chief, which is one of the masks, was the first face Michael saw on the wall. I have never carved a mask like this one, and to be faithful to the image I saw, I had to develop a new carving technique, like cutting the contoured cheekbones. The next image Michael saw was Link's woman near the bathroom door. He viewed her as the matriarch. The warrior was the next mask he created. Michael felt he died here probably a few hundred years ago and was a great warrior. That is why he put diamonds in his eyes. Finally, Michael saw the water being. He is the reason room 12 is an access mundi. There is a spring right below this lodge that possesses very powerful medicinal power, attracting these spirits to this room. The water being is the guardian of this access mundi. Shrokan people who died long ago traveled between this world and the spirit world from this location and have left their presence on the wall of room 12. This was a little excerpt from our guest guide to artwork, which can be downloaded on our website. Of course, this wouldn't be a guest ranch without our ranch animals, and they are always a hit with visitors and not just the kids. We have our ranch cats, of course, the horses. We have 25 horses, pigs every year, and several other animals that get visited by children and adults alike. However, the real stars of Echo Valley are definitely our border collies. And we are actually set to get 4 more next year, 4 new puppies. But those are the faithful companions to everybody who wants to go and explore the trails around the ranch. They will come with the guests and be their guides. We also offer optional activities that can be booked once the guests are on site, and those are guided hikes as well as guided rides. We offer two-hour rides every day, or a full-day ride with a picnic lunch, or you can go gold panning. This is our guide, Daryl, and he actually owns a gold claim in the Fraser Canyon, and he graciously takes our guests there so they can try their hand at gold panning. And nobody might get rich down there, but everybody comes back with some gold. You can also choose to do a Fraser Canyon safari just to see the area and some of the wildlife. We also offer fly fishing lessons and target shooting as well. Another experience you can book on site is the spa experience. And we have a comprehensive spa menu in our 2 spas. One of the spas is in the Ban Thai, the Thai spa, and the other one is the Caribou Spa, which is more of a Western style spa with massages, facials, body wraps. You can also get a couples day spa, and as well as hair and makeup. We are really proud of our excellent reviews on TripAdvisor, 451 reviews and counting, and 418 of those with 5 stars. If you would like to go and check them out, and you will see that lots of people talk about coming to Echo Valley feels just like coming home. We're also very proud of our awards, and we have been in the top 25 of the best boutique hotels and best service hotels in Canada on TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice since 2012, and in 2013 we were #1 in both categories. We've also been awarded multiple times with the Boutique Hotel Awards for Best Wellness Spa of the Americas, and just recently this year, just 2 weeks ago, Best Romantic Retreat of the Americas. We are also a Canadian Signature Experience, and we were one of the first members of this very Canadian collection. And what contributed to us being chosen was our unmistakable authenticity with bringing East and West together. East meets West is our signature experience, and it's part of the Echo Valley Way, where we appreciate the cultural diversity in our world, and where people from all over the world as seasonal and permanent staff work and live together in harmony. Of course, you are going to want to know how we can support the travel trade, and we definitely love doing that. You can download high and low-res images from our website. No password is needed, and I'm always happy to send the link to the image gallery. If you are planning a promotion to get people booked into Canada, then we're happy to leave a price for you. For example, a 2-day stay for 2 at the ranch. And of course, we also offer farm visits if you would like to come and explore the ranch for yourself. You can also go to our website at evranch.com anytime. And I know it's a little bit of a challenge with the time difference here between us, but so you can check any time under the Make a Booking link to just check the availability. And for booking itself, we would ask you to please book with your preferred Australian wholesaler. What's next? I am happy to help and assist anytime. And so you can contact me at Kirsten@evranch.com for assistance, and I'm happy to help. And I am sure that Charlie will supply that information for you as well. So now I want to thank you for taking the time and spending part of your day learning and listening to me talk about Echo Valley Ranch and Spa. And I'm happy to answer questions. And with that, back over to you, Charlie. Thank you.
Kirsten, thank you so much. Fantastic presentation. What an absolutely fascinating place. It looks wonderful.
Thank you.
So, ladies, the floor is open for questions. If you have any questions, please type them into the chat box. I'll kick things off. So, Kirsten, what's a typical length of stay for guests then?
I would say that most people, we've kind of seen an increase over the last few years because we do have a minimum stay of 3 nights in July and August, and typically people would stay that amount of time, and everybody who leaves says, oh, I wish I would have booked a day longer. So our average stay has increased to 3 to 4 days for sure, where it used to be 2 to 3 days.
Awesome, thank you. And in terms of lead times, do those peak seasons, do they get booked out in advance? Do you need to book in ahead of time?
Yes, for July and August for sure. Especially we have those what we call the long weekends in British Columbia. So that's always the first weekend in August, first weekend in September, and of course Canada Day around July 1st. Those tend to get booked up very fast. And then in general, July and August, the family weeks, I would say probably looking at best to book about 3 to 4 months in advance. And for the rest of the season, we can usually, about, I would say 1 to 2 months in advance is what we see on average.
Awesome. Thank you. No questions coming through, so we will sign off there. If anybody wants to hang back and have a chat, please do. Otherwise, thank you all so much for joining us, and have a great day.